Alright, actually that means I don't have to make a choice here. I can do this instead. I'm going to say, making your choices last is better, but this comes in tapped and this doesn't. But in this case, as things panned out. Ooh, I guess that was important. I guess this was important, huh? Alright. I'm here with Atraxa's Praetor's Voice. Similar to the other Atraxa that I just played, but different enough that I feel like I can do something different with it compared to the other one. So that difference is, or at least the main difference, is a bunch of planeswalkers. And I'd say a bunch of proliferate, but at least all the proliferate I think worth playing. There's like a 5-mana draw 3 proliferate card. I don't think I like that one, but we have this. We have the 2-drops, Thrumming Bird, this rat, Canker Bloom. You know, Staff of Completion is probably the best one because it's repeating just like Karn's Bastion. Right, you just loops it over and over and over. Karn's Bastion is a colorless land. We would like to get Atraxa out on turn 4 a lot, so that doesn't really work too well, but it's not too big of a deal. I'm still doing Emergent Ultimatum nonsense because I think it's actually pretty good to attack your opponent in multiple angles. I don't have really any board wipes, which probably looks very strange in what would be considered a Super Friends deck, right? You just don't really play creatures, and that makes your board wipes much stronger. But I think instead of sweepers, I might just try to delay whatever my opponent's trying to do with all the Frogify effects, right? And just make their commander useless while I sit back and excuse me, while I sit back and try to ultimate one of these planeswalkers. Or Emergent Ultimatum taking a bunch of turns, or Tooth and Nailing something weird. We don't have anything crazy with Tooth and Nail, but if it's in hand, like it was in the past, or like I have Omniscience in play, and this is in the hand every time I did, it just, I have Omniscience for free. Or, excuse me, Tooth and Nail for free, because Omniscience. So, I'm going to try that. I think that's about it. Might want to go more aggressive into ramp spells. No mana dorks, though. If I don't have many creatures, I say this a lot, then you don't want your few creatures to get hit by 40 spells out of your opponent. I'm losing my voice. It's only been 2 minutes. Need water. Yeah, other than that, let's see. Oh, As Foretold. Right. I saw it last second. I want to see how many times this comes up. I would really like to just go for this card a lot just to see how good it is, especially if I can proliferate it and get something expensive into play. But we'll see. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's go. So this is the Black Kulane. This hand is so close to being, like, dummy thick. I'm on the draw. I have a swords. I'm down. Alright. That was probably the best draw we could have asked for. Maybe like a tapped blue-green source would have been slightly better. Well, my opponent knows I have Swords to Plowshares now. So we need blue. I don't have any dual lands, trying to avoid as many tap lands. I do have the thriving lands in here, though. I'm trying those out. Alright, they're just Windmill Zimone and Dina. I suppose we let it slide so we can do this. This seems way too good to pass up. I do have 2 Guild Gates, too. I know, look at me. Look at me playing these tap lands. YouTube comments are all proud. Twitch chat's all proud. Sure. No second spell? Wow. Wow. Or no second card draw, rather. Okay. So, do they have a spell here? They do. It could be Orcish Bowmasters. Sort of just expect that one all the time now. Another hand with nothing to proliferate. I guess I'll go cheese out a Emergent Ultimatum and keep swords up. They can't really draw. Okay. They can't do anything too scary right now. Especially if I just do this. There's no way you counter this. Okay, so they have a second counter spell. Because otherwise it doesn't make any sense, right? Like, you would never just... Like, you see this. My opponent manually tapped this. That's strange. Okay, my opponent gave me Emergent Ultimatum when they had a Spell Pierce. Green, green, green. Nope, blue, blue, green. Oh, I don't have ultimate. I don't have it this turn. Oh, wait, yes I do. I can play this again. Play it like I did last game. Except this time, I believe it gives me my ultimatum. It does. Alright. My opponent gave me this. Yep, I don't... You had the Spell Pierce. You had the card. Right? And if I didn't cast the extra turn, you could have Spell Pierced the extra turn instead. Which is probably what they would have done. Because I would have put it in a... Like, I would have cast a 7-mana sorcery. They probably would have Spell Pierced that one. But if they didn't find an answer to the next big spell, they're dead. But I feel like this should not have happened. But we'll take it. I haven't really gotten any Planeswalkers in play yet. But to be honest, that is kind of just normal for Historic Brawl. Okay, so white. Mutavault? What? Well, I guess it is a zombie. Okay. It is a zombie. Weird commander. If I play this, can I swords it? No. The ward 2 is too much. Okay, let's just try to shut it down for the entirety of the game, maybe? Or make them kill their own card, which they obviously don't want to do. This manland might harass Planeswalkers pretty efficiently, though. Yeah, if I minus here... Oh, it doesn't just die if I minus, right? Well, it's not completed, so I guess it does. I can play Atraxa, but then I cannot cast swords. Alright, I'll take this time to do this and this, and then I can cast swords at some point. I don't think there's any punish for letting them gain 2. I mean, I'm probably always swordsing, so it probably just... I should have, but... They might play something scarier. Not very likely at all, but... Okay, this puts the tempt on something that... Oh, they didn't tempt their Shieldred. That's weird. Why are you not tempting Shieldred? Could have just tempted Shieldred. Alright. Strange. If they have another one, they can easily... I guess I'm... not doing anything special. I can cast the Wandering Emperor. There's no reason to swing. Yeah, alright. Well, that's kind of lame, but... it's just what I have, so... Activated abilities of creatures your opponent can't be activated. Okay, we don't really have any of those. What else does this do? Has activated of all creatures in your... Okay. So this doesn't really have any text in this matchup. Kind of weird. But it does stop my... I guess it does have text because it has flying. It actually does have text. Are we proliferating? Feels kind of greedy to proliferate a Wandering Emperor, but I guess I just am. I mean, I probably should draw. No, we're going to proliferate and just put a counter on the Emperor here. And then I can use it to kill this other Nazgul. I think we're just going to cash it in like this. And I can use Vraska to stop this. And we're not in a bad spot, I guess. I do want to do this. -2, and then it goes up even higher because of the thrumming bird. Alright, we're doing things. Things are doing. They have Immutavolt still, but it doesn't kill Vraska, notably. Cool. Wow. For a deck with no, like, hard removal, we did a pretty good job at answering a bunch of creatures. Okay, I'll take it. Alright, it's more green. Green, 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 green. Green, green. Green is the color. We're on the draw, but we do have Growth Spiral to basically undo that. Sort of. Oh, look at this hand. Look at this totally not mono green deck. Look at this hand. Oh, wow. Wow. Didn't see that one coming. Okay. Untapped land would be good, but we do have Cultivate anyways. Getting, I guess, black and blue? So next turn I can go get my 2 Guild Gates. Alright, so Vorinclex at least isn't too spooky. Don't really care about the forests it gets. It's easy to spam cast Vorinclex, so I'm not like, you know, upset I have to maybe kill it 5 times or whatever. Another mana dork actually is a problem, yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This could be a problem. That could be a problem. I really wish I drew an untapped land. That seems to be a running theme with this deck. Very annoying. But it just goes to show why I say you should not really run tap lands, because there's so many instances where you're like, man, I had a untapped land off the top. If only that last land was untapped. It seems to come up way more than anything a tap land would do for you. I'd be surprised if they didn't activate Vorinclex, but there's a chance they don't, and they just do something else. It would just be a threat anyways, right? And when they do it this way, it's a guarantee threat because it comes out of hand. Alright, so we have a good sweeper here. Opponent doesn't... What? Actually, that's good, right? You have more things to do? I mean, you're mono green. What? Green, green, green. Okay, so we just automatically lose to... Heroic Intervention? Wasn't Heroic Intervention. And also, they didn't use the mana to flash or float it or anything. They just didn't swing with the 3/3. I don't know what mono green could have there. That's strange. It's very unusual. Okay, so... Davriel? My opponent has something. I just don't know what it is. Veil of Summer, maybe? Although I don't have any respect for that card. I guess it could be. Okay. I'll exile you and you. Well, it's not like it's a removal spell. Oh, yes. Proliferating Davriel. Absolutely dirty. Well, alright, I'm going to gain 4, so I'm just going to lose 6 right now. I can tutor up an extra turn. That isn't really all that exciting. Actually, maybe I can do that multiple times, because I do have Tameo. Wait a minute. I might just, like, go stupid infinite here. Hold on. Are we just going to be... Are we going to be doing dumb stuff right now? I'm not going to kill my own cards. I'll name As Foretold for no reason. It doesn't matter. Not very likely to name anything correctly. Okay, we don't get, like, infinite turns, but we get, like, 3, so... Alright. My opponent waited till the last one to scoop, which is kind of funny. Actually, we could have had one more in a turn, like, in a cycle, next turn if we plus this and, we proliferate on my end step now, we minus it again, but then I wouldn't be able to do it again. So... I don't know if I would do that. I think the next thing I find at this point is probably just Emergent Ultimatum, right? Because I can tutor for it. So I sack this. I cast that for 1. Or let's say I get a good deal and it's 0. But let's say it was 1. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I still could cast... Yeah, alright. So we probably just won there with the... I might not even have had to have taken the other extra turn. I could have probably just went right into the Emergent Ultimatum. Okay, so this is going to be on green. Oh, look at that. Being outramped by the non-green deck. You fool, I have the best black enchantment ever. But I'm probably going to cast Cultivate. Probably? I don't know. Maybe. Still being outramped. No, they missed a land drop, so not necessarily. Okay, so we get a blue and a... I have Bant in hand, so blue. And I guess white? No, I have double white. I guess I have 2 of everything else. Yeah, fine. Very well. Could have put white right into play. It lets Wrath of God do something. But I think we're fine. Or not. Guess I should have played around that card. Silly me. Alright, let's hope it's the worst version where it just plays a bunch of creatures and stuff. That leads me to believe it is one of the worst, like, the worst version, because it does have stuff like this. Oh look, it's the other black removal spell. Grixis dealing with your enchantments feels bad. But of course. Opponent pitches their hand, and of course it's Atraxa. Why wouldn't it be? I am getting extremely unlucky so far in these matchups. Just the way things have panned out have been extremely unlucky. It's kind of unbelievable. Like my opponent pitches their hand and they have Atraxa now. That's just absolutely disgusting. Yeah, this is atrocious. I don't know. I don't even think I can beat this. Well, can I scam them? Nope, that doesn't actually have any merit. Can I... I can Wrath again, but that has to deal with this. Can this get large enough to survive? It can? No, it can't. It can if I play a blocker, but that doesn't have merit. We're going to do this. And I'm going to plus. It's dead to a removal spell anyways, right? If I minus on a mana rock, I don't really know what I'm doing. Like, what does that accomplish, really? This is probably the best case scenario. They do swing. Okay, well, there's no reason not to. Drowning Icker's looking real not good, so... Token's gonna die anyways. I can't blow up these, unfortunately. I am very confident I have to deal with Sauron, so I will. Do I blow up one of these now? This isn't too exciting, but the tokens aren't really exciting either. Adding stuff to the graveyard for Crocs is definitely not exciting, but do what I gotta do. Redraw. Nice. Wow. My opponent had some really good stuff going on. They did miss a land drop, but they still were really in it. They had, what was it, a Dark Ritual? How did they get that out fast? Yeah, Dark Ritual and the Feed Swarm to get this out really, really fast. But we did have an answer in the sweeper. And we were able to cast it twice. But that Croxa, like, I don't know if this is such a bad spot. They're not going to have any enchantments and stuff, right? Atraxa proliferating this. The tokens from this might be the biggest issue for them. But I'm kind of a ways away from actually doing that. Because I'm just going to continue to blow these up so they can never get back to Sauron. But I don't know if they're in a terrible spot. My hand is not really that good. Right, I just have some ramp spells. This doubles this, but this will be a threat for later. It's not looking too good, but still, this is not really a spot where I feel like I would give up quite yet. But we'll take it. If we win that, if we won what just happened against us, you know, then there wasn't too much. It's actually probably just completely impossible. Like, it's just not. You're not going to win that game. Well, if you don't have ramp of your own, best to take your opponent's. A wise decision. So I'd have triple tap land. Blue. If even one of these were untapped, we'd be in an excellent spot. But it feels less bad that they took this. Never mind. Just literally undid it. Sweet. Well, kind of. Sort of undid it. Anything but Orcish Bowmasters, please? Cool. Another removal, or discard spell. Well, they found the land. Just, maybe not the one they were looking for. Obviously no counterspell. Okay, so we get black and green? Black and blue? Black and blue. Maybe a green should have been thrown in there somewhere. Not sure. Okay, so they obviously have a counterspell this turn, but we're not too upset about that. This is literally the last thing on Earth I would counter. I don't understand why they countered this. It's very strange. There's no reason to counter that. There's absolutely no reason. You just counter the thing I mean, like, you know my hand. Oh, I guess they don't know my hand anymore. Maybe it makes a little bit more sense. Still, though, it's just really, really weird to do that. Can't say I agree. They know about this. Yeah, they know about the edict. So we have an answer to their commander when they go for it. We drew one of the guild gates. Okay, run this out. They don't know about the Karn's Temporal Sundering, though it's not really doing anything. I don't think it's in my best interest to add counters to their One Ring to kill them. I highly doubt that's a correct decision. It is one I could make, though, but it doesn't seem right. I think my best bet is maybe to kill them with it, but we'd probably die before we get to that point. Like, super likely. Solve the equation. Alright, so just probably getting a discard spell. I mean, excuse me, a removal spell. No Planeswalkers. This will be a very good Planeswalker matchup. There's like 15 to my deck. Wow, they got a counter spell. So they just want to take 4? They got something... Oh, yep. Alright. You got it. Wow. I think either my opponent realized that was a terrible choice. Right? Like, they thought this... They figured this was just the worst thing they could do. Or they thought maybe they had protection for another turn? I'm not sure. Do that? Why else would you do that? Okay. I could put one of these on this. Is that good enough? It might be good enough between one of these and Tasha to not lose this game. Whoa, opponent. What's going on? Mono green with no 1 or 2 drop? Oh my goodness. No ramp, no Menadork, no nothing. There it is. There it is. So do we play you or you? I think we just play this. The -6 isn't too exciting, but this can just stop them from, like, tickling me. But this is certainly very strong. It would also just tap down this Menadork immediately, but I'm not very scared of it. I assume they're not actually going to use it right now. Okay, well, they did. Alright, this cannot be killed with the stuff I have. Nowhere to go but up. I can tap this with this. I guess that's just what I have to do. Otherwise, I'm going to lose it, so. Very well. I cannot disrupt that with one of my lose all ability cards. No, just a turn too late of trying to ultimate this. Okay, my opponent played Omniscience. That's pretty spicy. I do wait, I do have an answer to that. I do have an answer to that. Okay, we're always playing this. They have no attack, unless they have a haste threat out of nowhere, which is possible. Vorinclex exists. That's not Vorinclex. Tail swipe. Lol. Probably wanted that thing on top there so I can't swing, but they didn't put it to their hand. Oh, okay, alright, alright. Is this indestructible? The artifact token is not indestructible, so they can actually blow it up. But there's no way in the universe this is the wrong decision. So I'm still doing this. Oh, wow, I got a Ghalta. I got a Ghalta. I got a Ghalta. Oh, that's funny. Oh, my opponent's probably going to scoop to this extra turn. Oh, I got a Ghalta. Yes. Oh, that's stupid. Was that even relevant? Like, let's say I got something that wasn't Ghalta. What are we doing next turn? I mean, I'm drawing 2. I should have done this before I did anything else. It doesn't matter. Oh, no, this only draws 1 and then discounts 2. Never mind. I thought it was the other way around. So I draw 1, and then I untap. I plus. I draw again. This is just, like, disturbingly vulnerable to, like, Beseiju and Cityscape Leveler, but Cityscape Leveler at this point would have to kill Ghalta, probably. Although they have some big stuff. This keeps something tapped down. Yeah, this might be the last thing they have to... Oh, it just sucks to not blow this up, but it probably... You can't afford to take the time to blow this up and just not do anything else, right? Yeah. Cool. Oh, I should have saw their deck. I should have saw what I milled with Tasha. Alright, this person's playing colorless, but they're not playing Ulamog. Cool. What is this? Karn Legacy Reforged. Greatest mana value, not total. And the beginning of your upkeep, add for each, and then spent on not. Okay, so it's just artifacts for days, but that's the only thing they can do anyways. We're just gonna keep this and then smooth brain our way to 6 mana and probably win on the spot. That is, if we get there. All right, they have one of the 4 2-mana ramp spells because, of course, they do. Right into one of the 3 4-mana ramp spells because, of course, they do. Let us play this. Pretty easy for them to pay for. But do they? No. Unwinding Clock. That gives all of their artifacts pseudo-vigilance. Oh, I guess it's artifact creature heavy, huh? Because of the Steel Overseer. That's pretty interesting. I can play this. No, I can't. This, I will just run out, I think. Yeah. Get rid of the Steel Overseer, probably. Oh, it depends if the Ornithopter is more important. I don't know. Okay. You may cast colorless artifact. Okay. Really? Was hoping they'd pay for a Smothering Tithe this turn, but can't always have it. Do I sweep this board? Feels really stupid to sweep this board right now. Honestly, everything I do feels kind of lame. What else does this do? Okay, I guess I'll just sweep the board. Keep things boring. Nice and boring. Nice and empty. So, they probably won't pay for Smothering Tithe. But again, if we ever get to 6 mana, I think this game is over. Oh, they did pay for it. Okay. Fair enough. This looks like a really good spot for Shieldred, if I had the mana. So I guess I'll get a 4-mana ramp spell. Jeez. Of course, a game where I just need... just need it, I don't get it. Yeah, alright, fine. This is slow, but our opponent is very slow, so... Just need them to... They might not even pay for it anymore because they see this. So they'll be like, that's fine, yeah. Alright, so we have the 6. I would like to see Karn here. No Karn, alright. This is actually still kind of fine, to be honest. Still kind of fine. Yeah, it's probably just best to... Can I afford to just not do anything for a turn? I really think I can. I think I can afford to just cast those. I won't cast the Arcane Signet. It'll just get exiled when I go to Farewell. Karn Legacy Reforged. That is so interesting. Yep, I'm not playing anything. Oh, they gained 1. Sending a message. Alright, so they don't have Ulamog mana, that should be kind of spooky. Also, not casting Farewell puts even more into the Farewell. But yeah, my opponent's just gonna get absolutely schmeeded here. It's kind of depressing. But I really like this deck. This is something I would love to try at some point, but it is now over. Opponent is not conceding. Alright, alright. I like it. Ujin is actually horrible here. There's no minus for it. Their entire deck is colorless. Exile all non-land permanents. What? Green, green, green. Okay, so I have to pay... Yeah. Oh, right. Also, yeah, this card's stupid too, I forgot. Nissa herself can literally just blow up. It's a naturalize a turn, right? That's just absolutely degenerate. There's just nothing they can do here. Opponent's looking at all their lands to see if any are relevant. No, they are not. Okay, so all in all, this was notably worse than the other Atraxa. Could just be the way I built it. I just didn't want to do extremely similar things to the other one. I wanted to do the proliferate with planeswalkers and other fancy goofy stuff like As Foretold. None of it really came together. I didn't have like that many games where I had a planeswalker in play. I could change that with running more of them, but I don't really know how many more are really that strong that justify the proliferating. Right, so I don't know if this just kind of proves my point, or at least, you know, my own iteration of it, is like the proliferating isn't that exciting unless you're doing something really, really crazy, or having a bunch of things at the same time to proliferate, which this deck never really seemed to be able to do. You probably don't even want to proliferate your own One Ring. It would probably kill you faster than it save you. I think the one game I had Overwhelming Splendor in play, my opponent drew 600 cards in the same turn cycle, so I just lost. But this is still just really, really good, especially with black, so you can reliably tutor for it. And then even more so with green, that you can get it out faster. Probably better than Emergent Ultimatum, just smacking your opponent. In fact, if you cast Emergent Ultimatum, you're probably getting Overwhelming Splendor. Mixing up my words. Um, Other than that, probably want maybe even a single or maybe two more board wipes. Uh, the proliferating again wasn't that great, so maybe I could take out these three fancy proliferate creatures. Oh, one of each color. Look at this, the Sultai trio here. Could probably get rid of those. And at that point, right, you just play the 7-mana one. I think it's just better. This as a creature is better because it's just a 4-mana 4/4 as opposed to a 7-mana 7/7. This is just like better, but it's on its own isn't. It's just not enough to justify what else is going on here. I have actually died to Atraxa, this one, the 4-mana 4/4, as a flying beater. It just like flew in the air a bunch and killed me as a 4/4, just beating me to death. Because my opponent cast it, waiting for something to proliferate. They never found one, and then they just killed me because they had a bunch of protection spells or counter spells, and I don't really have any of those, so that wasn't really part of the game plan. So I didn't get to do that, but yeah, it just goes to show that the other one is just better. At least this one does something different. This is the most popular paper commander, but that's a very different, like, you have access to a lot of cards that you don't hear. And there's 3 opponents. You can proliferate your opponents even if you don't, like, it doesn't necessarily benefit you. Like, you can proliferate that player's planeswalker to get it to an ultimate that might save you, So there's politics in the proliferate that you don't have in a one-on-one game. So it's not as exciting here. It still gets to play 4-color good stuff, but again, so does the other one. So I would just advise that. If you really like Super Friends, though, you could run way more Planeswalkers. You'll probably lose a little bit more of your games, because a lot of these Planeswalkers are not, doing that much. Like the 6-mana Wandering Emperor, whatever, is cool, but it's like you could just run a board wipe. You don't need to run whatever this is, and then it might actually die to the remaining creature. That was one of the ones I was looking at. Narset is solid. I guess it helps you find other planeswalkers. It can come in early. It gets in the way of your early ramp and development, though. It also kind of gets in the way of your counter spells, but I wasn't doing that. Jace is alright. The milling your opponent is never good. You never want to mill somebody unless it's like truly going to kill them. It just gives them access to more cards, usually on average in a Singleton 100 format. Spark Double is kind of a rainbow planeswalker, I guess, but you already need one in play and it needs to survive already. Like, you're just winning more at that point, right? Proliferating a Jace, the Unraveler, doing it with 2 of them is like, oh, cool, but I mean, the first one was already going to be devastating. Copying your commander, though, that's actually pretty solid. What else? What other planeswalker makes sense or could have made sense? Because really looking through the ones I own, even the ones I don't own, it's like, I don't know. Tezzeret's just a card draw engine. Professor Onyx is cool, but you have to go in more of the instant and sorceries to get the Magecraft to proc. Otherwise, it's just like a glorified Narset with the plus, right? And then the -3 having some kind of removal, sort of. I don't really like 3 Fairy, so to each their own with that. I don't think he's particularly strong right now. He was earlier, like a year ago, but not anymore. Kaya, it's really expensive, right? You're getting in the 6 and up. It's kind of tough. It's also double white, double black in a 4-color deck. That could be kind of difficult. Again, I'm not doing anything on my opponent's turn that much, so 5 minutes of Fairy doesn't seem that useful. I'd have to really reassess some of my cards to play more instants to justify the untapping of my lands. It just seems kind of weird as it was. This one requires things to sacrifice. I don't think that's what our deck really tries to do, unless we're just eating our own lands for some reason. Yeah, see, it's just like there's not that many planeswalkers that really Atraxa loves. So at that point, you're doing other things with with Atraxa, like I don't know, as foretold, although I never really got to use that. I mean, I could sit here and go through card by card, which means this video would take, my outros already take long enough, right? Just like to really break down what I'm trying to say, I guess, overanalyzing, but I mean, you get my point. What I did just wasn't, it wasn't worth it. If you're gonna play Atraxa, just do the other one. If you're trying to proliferate, do almost anything else. I don't know. This has just felt kind of loose, but let me know what you thought about it. This is a popular commander, even in historic. Still, it's just every time I see it, I'm like, oh, thank God it's this one and not the other one. If you have a list that you really like of Atraxa and you're willing to share it, let me know what it is. But other than that, this is what I thought was different enough to try from the other one. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching and listening to my ending rambles.